Sarah spends 3 hours on a painting. She posts it at 9 p.m, phone face down, so she isn't tempted to check. 9 people love it. One person writes, "This is terrible." She laughs, types a quick, "Thanks for the feedback," closes the app. But at 2 a.m, she's staring at the ceiling, and the sentence is still there. By morning, the 9 compliments are gone. One sentence is the only thing she remembers. Why does your brain do that? This has a name. Psychologists call it negativity bias, and it's rewiring your decisions without you noticing. That is not weakness. Your brain was never designed to treat good and bad equally. Negativity bias is the tendency to give negative experiences more weight than positive ones of similar intensity. In simpler words, bad sticks. Researchers studying learning, relationships, and everyday life found that negative events often create a stronger psychological impact than positive ones. One explanation is survival. 10,000 years ago, overlooking something positive was disappointing. Overlooking danger could get you killed. Missing ripe fruit cost you lunch. Missing a predator cost you your life. There was no contest. So the brain became highly sensitive to threats, rejection, and mistakes, and it never got the memo to stand down. That alarm now goes off inside performance reviews, inside social media comments, inside breaking news alerts, and endless comparison. The predator is gone. The alarm remains. And shortly, I will give you one question that can stop a bad moment from becoming the story of your entire day. Here's the thing. The problem was never that Sarah noticed the criticism. Criticism can be useful. The problem is that it didn't just join the picture, it took control of the frame. By the next morning, she's scrolling back through old projects, hunting for flaws nobody had ever pointed out before. One sentence had recruited an entire case against her. 5 people praise your work. 1 person criticizes it. Suddenly, the criticism feels like the only honest opinion in the room. Psychologists call this negativity dominance. Negative details shape our overall judgment more than a balanced calculation would ever suggest. And this bias doesn't just change your mood, it changes your decisions. You know that job posting sitting open in a tab for 3 weeks? That's not laziness. That's your brain protecting you from a loss that hasn't even happened yet. Kahneman and Tversky proved why decades ago. Losses affect us more strongly than comparable gains. Losing 1,000 rupees hurts more than gaining 1,000 rupees feels good. That's why rejection feels louder than opportunity. Why you delay applying for the better job, because failure feels immediate and close. Why you avoid the difficult conversation, because temporary discomfort feels more dangerous than a relationship slowly getting worse. Negativity bias, stay where it is safe, even when staying still is costing you more. And you're not the only one who's noticed this about your brain. Someone built a business on it. A 2023 study analyzed thousands of randomized headline tests across hundreds of millions of impressions. One additional negative word in an average headline increased click-through rate by about 2.3%. Fear earns attention, outrage earns attention, Disaster earns attention. Every click teaches the system what keeps you watching. Your ancient threat detector meets a modern algorithm, testing exactly which warning will stalk your thumb. Here is the dangerous part. You begin mistaking attention for truth. A harsh comment feels bigger. A risk feels urgent. One painful moment makes books weak, Professor Over. Your brain is not a neutral narrator. It is an overprotective editor. It highlights danger, circles criticism, and replays the one moment when something worth wrong. Sometimes that editor regrets you. Sometimes it traps you. So how do you take back the frame? My brain is giving this greater equity experts across votes. You are not denying what about hands. You are noticing what our mind of doing with it. Second, ask the questioner promised. What else is also true?
Sarah said,
My presentation was terrible. She lost her words once, but she answered 3 difficult questions well. Several people understood her idea, and now she knows exactly what to practice. The mistake stays real. It just no longer owns the entire story. Third, give positive experiences deliberate attention. Stay with a compliment a little longer. This is not fake positivity. It is not pretending that pain, danger, or criticism don't exist. It is correcting a distorted scale. The next time one bad moment tries to define your day, one rejection tries to define your value, or one fearful thought tries to define your future, remember this. Negative things hit harder. That is real. But they are not automatically more important, more accurate, or more deserving of your attention.